thought come into your mind that I have come to destroy the law of the prophets, because I have not come to destroy the law of the prophets, but I came to fulfill both the law and the prophets. Read on.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
He says, verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass. We can see that heaven and earth still exist. Read on.
One jot or one tittle.
It says one jot or one tittle. Read on.
Shall in no wise pass from the law.
It says not one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. Read on.
Till all be fulfilled.
Till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth are still existing. All things haven't been fulfilled yet. Read on.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
So it says, whosoever shall break one of these least commandments. If you shall break one of the least commandments that are written within the law. Read on.
And shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
So if you break the law and you teach men so, you shall be least in the kingdom of heaven. Read on.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
So it says, whosoever shall do and teach them shall be great within the kingdom of heaven. Read on.
For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees.
So he says, except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. Read on.
Ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So the question is, why did he say, unless your righteousness exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees? We know that in Matthew the 23rd chapter, Christ speaks about how the scribes and Pharisees were trying to put burdens on men that they weren't even trying to follow themselves. They will put burdens on men's shoulders and heavy burdens on men's shoulders and tell them to follow certain laws that they weren't keeping themselves. Read on.
Verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill.
So it says, we have heard in the old time that it was said that you should not kill. Read on.
And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
And it says, whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. Read on.
But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother.
So Christ said, whosoever is angry with his brother, which means you have a problem or ought with your brother. Read on.
That whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
So it says, whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause, which means you angry with your brother for no apparent reason whatsoever. But yet you have a problem with your brother. You can't figure out what the problem is. Your brother don't know what the problem is. You just hate your brother for no apparent reason. Read on.
And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the council.
So it says, whosoever shall say unto his brother, Rakah, which means vain fellow, it says, shall be in danger of the council. Read on.
But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hell fire.
So whosoever shall call his brother a fool shall be in danger of the hellfire. Now, that was just a real quick example to show you how Christ was bringing us the understanding or the spiritual understanding on how the law was supposed to be followed. Not only were you not supposed to kill, or not only were you not supposed to murder somebody, you also were not supposed to have the spirit of hatred towards your brother within your heart. That's what the scripture was telling us back in the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter. You understand? Not only is it telling us not to murder, it's also letting us know that we can't have any hatred towards our brother within our heart, because that hatred that we have towards our brother within our heart would eventually lead to murder. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 17. We are Genesis chapter 17, verse 14.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 14. And the uncircumcised man child whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, thy soul shall be cut off from his people, and he have broken my covenant.
Read from let's read verse 12. We didn't read verse 12.
Genesis 17 and 12. And he that is 8 days old.
So this was the covenant that he that was 8 days old must be what? Read on.
Shall be circumcised among you.
So it says, he that is 8 days old must be circumcised among you. So every male child after the 8th day of their birth, or on the 8th day of their birth, had to be circumcised. They had to have the skin of their foreskin taken off. Read on.
Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house, or brought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed.
So even those which are within thy house, that the strangers that are with thee, even they have to follow this law of circumcision. Even they have to have themselves circumcised on the 8th day if they're going to be living amongst you. Read on.
Verse 13. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant.
And it says, my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. So like I said earlier, not only is it speaking about the spiritual circumcision that will one day come through the understanding of Christ, it's also speaking about the physical circumcision. So a lot of people like to cast off the physical circumcision, not realize, or they like to refer to the spiritual circumcision of the heart, not realizing that the physical circumcision of the flesh actually still stands. Read on.
Verse 14. And the uncircumcised man-child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people.
So anybody, any male child within your house who is not circumcised, it says they shall be cut off from among thy people. Read on.
He hath broken my covenant.
It says he had broken my covenant. Read on.
Verse 15. And the Most High said unto Abraham, as for Sarai thy wife.
Now he says, the Most High said unto Abraham, as for Sarai thy wife. Read on.
Thou shalt not call her name Sarai.
So it says, you shall no longer call her name Sarai, which in Hebrew is Shariah, which means princess. Read on.
But Sarah shall her name be.
So now her name is changed from Shariah to Sarah, or Shara in Hebrew, which means noble woman or queen. So her name is changed from princess to queen. Read on.
Verse 16. And I will bless thee, and I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her.
And it says, I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Because we understand when we read earlier in Genesis the 11th chapter that Sarah was barren. She was barren. Read on.
Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations.
And it says, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Read on.
Kings of people shall be of her.
And it says, kings of people shall be of her. So the same way that he said, kings shall come out of the loins of Abraham, he promised that out of Sarah's womb would kings come. Read on.
Verse 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed.
So Abraham fell upon his face and laughed. The question is, why did Abraham fall upon his face and laugh when the Most High made this statement, or when he was making this covenant with Abraham about Sarah and him coming together and actually having a child? Read on.
And said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old?
He says, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? So Abraham couldn't believe the fact that the Most High was telling him that me being 100 years old, me being 100 years old can bring forth a child. Abraham couldn't understand it. Read on.
And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear?
And he says, shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? So can a woman that is 90 years old in age, and that old age, can she still bring forth children and bear children? Read on.
Verse 18. And Abraham said unto the Most High, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee.
So Abraham at first, he was saying that, listen, I understand what you're saying, but me and Sarah, it's no possible way that we can bring forth children in old age. And he says that, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. So he says, why wait for me to bring forth another child when you can just you can bring forth your covenant through Ishmael? Read on.
Verse 19. And the Most High said, Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed.
So even after Abraham had made the statement about bringing the covenant to Ishmael, who would later become the father of the Arab nations, the Most High still reiterated, or he brought back the fact that he was going to allow Sarah to have a child, and that they would bring forth a child in old age. So the Most High wasn't dealing with Ishmael, and he made it clear that he didn't want to deal with Ishmael. Read on.
And thou shalt call his name Isaac.
And it says, thou shalt call his name Isaac. And Isaac came to be, as we know, the chosen seed that came out of Abraham. Read on.
And I will establish my covenant with him.
And it says, I will establish my covenant with him. So the covenant was not established with Ishmael like they like to, they try to teach in Islam, teaching that Ishmael is the chosen seed. It says that I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant. So the covenant will come from Abraham, and it will go down to Isaac for an everlasting covenant. Read on.
And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him.
And it says he will establish his covenant with his seed after him. We know that his seed after him was Jacob, and after Jacob had 12 sons, which came to become the 12 princes or the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on.
Verse 20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee.
And it says, as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Now, Ishmael's name in Hebrew actually is Yashama Allah. Yashama Allah, which means heard of the Most High, or the Most High have heard thee. Read on.
Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly.
So he says, behold, I have blessed him, and I will make him fruitful, which means I will make him have plenty children. And when you look at the Arab nation today, we see that they are very fruitful. They have a lot of children.